And now we are joined by Bayan Muna first nominee attorney Neri Colmenares. Hi attorney, good morning and welcome to the program.
Hi Pauline, good morning sa viewers ninyo.
Yes, attorney, well, we heard you earlier and what you said last night on the big story, right? You don't believe na magsusurrender itong former President Rodrigo Duterte sa International Criminal Court. But attorney, let's first ask, ang ICC po ba may jurisdiction pa rin sa Pilipinas? Kahit na nag-withdraw na po tayo noong 2019, there are people saying na merong continuing jurisdiction under Article 127 of the Rome Statute. Tell us more about that, attorney.
Correct, Pauline. Article 127 of the Rome Statute, nilagay yan na parang sinasabi doon na pag mag-withdraw kayo, hindi yan mag-affects doon sa kaso na nasimulan na before the withdrawal. So the complaints have been filed in 2017 by Attorney Jude Sabio. At yung sa amin naman, second complaint na file namin in 2018 representing families ng victims. So pasok yun sa Article 127. So kahit na wala nang jurisdiction ng ICC sa crimes committed after the withdrawal, may jurisdiction ng ICC sa crimes committed before the withdrawal. So isinasabi doon na dapat mag-cooperate ang Pilipinas under that article. Kaya yan nilagay, Pauline, kasi pag wala yan, ang gagawin lang ng mga kung sinong akusado, di magwi-withdraw sila sa ICC tapos wala na yung kaso nila. So, toothless ang ICC. Kaya nilagay yun para ma-ensure na hindi pwedeng lumigtas ang mga presidente at prime minister sa ICC merely because they withdrew from the ICC.
So malinaw po yun, attorney, yung continuing jurisdiction even after a withdrawal. Pero ito po, attorney Neri, you also serve as a counsel for a lot of the families of victims of the war on drugs, ng mga EJK victims, how big of a win is this, or how big of a development is this looming or possible issuance of a arrest warrant on the former president? And para sa inyo po ba, long overdue na po ito?
Well, long overdue talaga kasi 2018 pa namin na-file at yung mga kaanak, they've been waiting for justice for so long a time. Hindi yan, pinagkait yan sa kanila sa Pilipinas and they have no forum here. Walang kaso naka-file kay President Duterte hinggil doon sa pagpatay ng anak nila, halimbawa, o asawa nila, o kamag-anak nila. So basically yun lang hinihintay nila. The trial, Pauline, in the ICC does not mean convicted si President Duterte. It's just a forum for the families to have an opportunity to present their evidence. So that's what they just wanted. Kung if President Duterte will be convicted, well and good sa kanila, but if he's acquitted, wala naman silang magawa. So yun lang naman ang hinihingi dito ng pamilya, just a forum for that. So long overdue yan. And well, malaking development yan, yung pag mag-issue ng warrant of arrest sa ngayon. Kaya natuwa sila doon sa news na may warrant of arrest na and kaya lang hindi na-confirm. And hopefully, we hope that the investigation has been concluded. Matagal na kasi yung investigation na yon, na-delay pa yon because the government of President Duterte requested for more than a year na deferral, tenga, kasi daw they're going to file cases against those involved. Wala namang nangyari kaya tinuloy yung investigation. So hopefully it's over by now and trial will ensue so that President Duterte will be the first Asian leader to be tried in the ICC.
Attorney Neri, let's go back to the evidence. How does the ICC determine if there's already sufficient evidence? Tama po ba they started their investigation, itong ICC po, noong 2021? So, paano nila masasabi na sufficient na po ang evidence para makapag-issue ng arrest warrant? At ano po yung mga official channels na dinaanan muna nitong mga evidence bago tayo umabot sa arrest warrant?
Well, actually, the preliminary examination started in 2017.
Okay.
The preliminary investigation, kakaiba yan sa examination, started in 2021. The evidence presented by the families of the victims, kami nandun una muna, kasi ang element na ipuprove namin sa ICC, we need to prove one, that he committed the acts and he ordered it, etc. So we presented that. Ang admissions niya publicly, yun ang evidensyang ginamit namin. The Quadcom hearings led to many more evidence on earth, and one of the most devastating evidence in the Quadcom hearings was the testimony of Colonel Reyna Garma, when she said not only did President Duterte order the killings, he in fact funded the killings. So that's really, really devastating kasi he used public funds, and only the president can do that, using public funds for the implementation of the war on drugs, which led to the killing of many. So these are, I think the ICC prosecutor has put with him all the files submitted and all the documents submitted in the Quadcom hearings, plus of course the evidence we submitted noon pa when we filed the case sa ICC. It's very strong, very, very strong. And in fact, the admissions of President Duterte were more than enough for that evidence. But the additional testimonies in the Quadcom and the documents submitted also led to the conclusion na only the President can execute such killings from aparito hulo, so to speak, no, nationwide, leading to the death of thousands. In fact, more than 30,000, sabi ng mga human rights groups.
Pero attorney, kamusta naman po ang safety dito nga mga pamilya, mga witnesses during this investigation?
Well, we were very concerned with that kasi there were reports before 2019, 2020 na medyo may mga umaaligid, may madaan. But wala naman kasi walang nangyari kasi they were under the protection of the church kasi ang Rise Up for Life, which is a church organization for EJK victims, ay very active doon sa pagsuporta sa kanila. So we're very happy that the church supported victims of the EJK kasi sabi ko nga, they were asking for justice lang naman. Wala naman silang hiningi. These are very poor people, Pauline. They don't have the capacity to defend themselves. Kaya it was very important that the church gave them support. And I would like to think they provided them the defense from harassment and threats na nangyayari sa maraming nangyari na mga red tagging and so on ng panahon ni President Duterte, and even until now, nangyayari pa rin yun.
Well, attorney, let's talk about this possible issuance nga po ng arrest warrant. What do you see happening here? You have the president, the former president, still in Hong Kong. Nakikita niyo po bang magsistay siya sa Hong Kong, pumunta ng China, mag-seek ng political asylum doon? Or to come home and to seek legal recourse domestically?
Well, he can stay in Hong Kong. Hindi natin alam ang plano niya. But he can stay in Hong Kong, and the legal recourse here can be done by his lawyers. Hindi naman kailangan nandito siya to file those cases just in case may warrant of arrest. Now, it's China's discretion kung payagan siyang magstay o hindi magstay. Ang aking hinala, kung sakaling mag-asylum sa China, it is very logical that China will grant him asylum kasi muna, utang na loob sa kanya. When he was president, he practically gave away West Philippine Sea to China. And later on sa 2025 at 2028 lalo na, China is still hoping na manalo ang Duterte sa 2028. Because if Duterte returns to Malacanang, that will make sure that China's aggressive actions in the West Philippine Sea will again be allowed. That's why they're very, very interested in the elections here. And I think if only for that, if only because they may return to Malacanang in 2028, that's why it is to their interest as of now to cuddle President Duterte and at least hold him there until such time as the Duterte's return to Malacanang. Well, that's their hope, and that's my analysis that if we're going to go for what is in the national interest of China, they would prefer to have President Duterte with them, hoping that they will win again in 2028.
Okay, but attorney, ito nga po, no, if the arrest warrant is successfully issued, what are the next steps there in the process of the ICC? Doon sa trial, saan po ba itatry itong kaso ng crimes against humanity on the former president?
Well, ang trial niyan sa ICC talaga sa Hague, no? And
Sa
that's
Hague.
why President Duterte has to be there in the ICC for that. That's why a warrant of arrest may be issued under Article 58, 59 ng Rome Statute kasi to ensure the appearance of the accused sa trial. That's one of the grounds for the release or issuance of a warrant of arrest. So the process here is after, if he is arrested, of course, implemented yan ng Interpol, but together with the local police and or local government enforcement agencies. And after he is arrested, then there are three ways here. He may be detained in the place of the state of custody, which is the Philippines, or he may be detained in a third country, kung sino man ang pwedeng magtumanggap sa kanya, and he may be detained in The Hague itself. No? So I think a leader with such stature, maybe sa Hague siya ikukulong if he is ever arrested. After that, he can, of course, file a case in here, in the Philippines, to question the warrant of arrest. Pwedeng gawin niya talaga yan. And allowed yan naman yan sa rules ng ICC. Ang ICC kasi very obsessed, kumbaga, sa due process rights ng akusado. Bigyan mo ng lahat ng pagkakataon. There is also a procedure sa ICC pagdating na doon, he contests the warrant of arrest. At didesisyonan talaga yan ng ICC whether the warrant was validly issued, at kung sakaling manalo siya doon, di ma-release siya because the warrant is defeated or voided. So, pero kung matalo naman siya, then he stays in prison. In any case, kahit saan man siya makulong, para sa amin sa Bayan Muna at least, no, that will be the end of the Duterte dynasty. Kasi President Duterte is the leading figure naman sa kanila. The support actually centers on President Duterte, not on his children. It's more to him, and if he is ever arrested and taken out, I think that will practically destroy the system, the ICC the powers of the Duterte.
But Attorney, right, you have a former President Duterte also running as mayor of Davao City. So kung siya po ba ay naaresto ng ICC, automatically disqualified na po siya from running as mayor in the midterm elections?
Any candidate will not be disqualified on the basis of cases or the fact that he or she is in prison. No, that's why Pastor Kibuloy can still run kasi hindi pa siya convicted with finality. So basically, ganun din ang mangyayari sa kanya. He may be allowed to run, continue to run if ever, kung sino mang kandidato, unless and until convicted with finality doon sa kusgado natin sa Pilipinas.
And Attorney, ay nabanggit nyo nga po, no, balikan ko lang, is sabi nyo ang ICC ay obsessed sa due process at kasama na rin po dyan is the presumption of innocence ng akusado. What do you make of the President's, sabihin nating, argument na he did this for a desire or driven by a desire to maintain peace and order in the Philippines? Is that a strong defense, Attorney?
No, it's not a strong defense kasi pag pinayagan mong depensa na yan, magpapatayan na lang tayo sa Pilipinas on good intentions. Pwedeng patayin mo yung kapitbahay mo, sabihin mo, rapist kasi yan kaya patayin ko na lang muna kasi tulong ko na lang to sa community. No, mahirap yon. Otherwise, lahat ng buong mundo magpapatayan na lang yan on the basis na tingin ko tama ito. Kung tingin mo may solusyon ka sa isang problema, may mga korte tayo for that. Diba? Lawyer naman si President Duterte, he knows that. Na abogado ka, hindi mo pwedeng gawin yung gusto mo just because you think tama ka. In the first place, paano kung mali ka? Dilibo na pala napatay mo. Which is in fact true kasi hindi naman nagkaroon ng peace and order ang Pilipinas. Hindi naman nawala ang kriminalidad o korupsyon ng panahon niya. In fact, ang droga namamayagpag pa rin. Bilyon-bilyon pa rin na piso ang nako-confiscate sa Pilipinas nung panahon niya and even immediately after. So, he didn't even succeed in that. But even if he succeeded na nagkaroon ng peace and order, then hindi yan license to kill. Just because you have good intentions. Sabi nga nila, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Kasi madali lang naman yan sabihin ng kahit sino man na nag-commit ng krimen, magnakaw ko sa bangko, sabihin mo, para naman ito sa community ko or whatever. Hindi pwede yun. It's not a defense. And those who obeyed such order, which is an illegal order, labag yan sa batas natin ang pagpatay, whatever your intentions. Pag nag-murder ka, murder yan. Ano man ang motibo mo, ano man yung rason kung bakit mo siya pinatay, it's still murder at hindi yan tatanggapin ng korte na allowed yung pagpatay just because ang ganda naman pala ng intention mo. Magulo yan at yan ang lipunan na ayaw natin kalakhan ng mga anak natin. Kasi ibig sabihin yung anak pala natin pwedeng patayin anytime just because somebody thought na pag pinatay siya, makakabuti sa bansa natin. No, that is not how we do it in a civilized society. And I really hope na many Filipinos will also believe na hindi naman dapat ganun. May proseso yan at dapat kung nagkasala ang isang tao, edi respetuhin yung due process rights niya, kasuhan siya at hindi patayin. May korte who will mete out the penalty. Kung kung ano man yung penalty, nung may death penalty patay, din death yun. Kung hindi, reclusion perpetua, mahabang buhay na pagkakulong. But the President Duterte is not the court. He cannot be the judge, jury, and executioner dito. Kasi hati yan eh. Ang executive is to execute the law. The courts, of course, are to decide and interpret the law. So, hindi talaga yan tatanggapin ng ICC. Lalo na, lahat naman ng akusado doon nagsasabi na intention namin is good. Ang kinaiba lang ni President Duterte, pag sinabi niya yon na ang intention ko good, parang inamin niya na eh. So, lalong ma-shortcut yung pag-convict sa kanya kasi parang inamin niya, except na sabi niya, may good intention ako. And sa lawyer, if he still remembers his law, hindi yan, kumbaga, extenuating circumstance o isang circumstance na ma-exempt siya from prosecution and prison. So yeah, I don't think he will use it even. Pagdating niya na sa ICC, I think he will change his argument. Pang-political propaganda lang yung sinasabi niya para sa kabutihan, pero hindi niya gagamitin yan sa legal. Definitely.
Well, Attorney, mabilisan lang po, will you be playing a role in the trial as a counsel ng families of these EJK victims?
Well, we really hope that the ICC will recognize the family of the victims at ang mga abogado nito, no, to give us also an opportunity to present the side of the victims. Of course, under the rules, prosecutor talaga mag-handle niyan, but we still hope na bigyan naman ng opportunity ang pamilya ng biktima. Kung hindi man kami ng mga abogado, at least yung pamilya ng mga biktima para makapag-appear din doon sa ICC at makapag-testify.
Well, thank you very much for all your insights and for joining us here on Morning Matters this Tuesday morning. That was Bayan Muna first nominee, Attorney Neri Colmenares. Maraming salamat, sir.
Maraming salamat. Thank you.